Do you want to play a quick game just to see what happens?
Sure.
I don't know how to invite someone, but I'm guessing not too many variations. Play with a friend. Yes. Let me share this link with you and correspondence. I don't know if this is what we want. I think the setup is done on this side, but I'm not seeing any board or anything, so I'm guessing it's gonna be waiting for you to join us.
Hey.
We can do something. Why are you complaining? Cool. No. Perfect. Join the game. Okay, so maybe one rule that we should have mentioned earlier is the white pieces are the first ones to get started. So it's all on you. Yvette, please move ahead.
I should never be a military strategist. Just gonna say that.
So one of the things that we want to be, or that I think, yeah, we as players want to be doing is after every move is consider what's the current state of the board. Since you moved this fellow over here, I don't see anything threatening me from just capturing it with my
Got
bishop.
you.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and be a nasty person. I'm
No, you're
sorry for
fine.
that. I apologize, but I need some advantage. I need some advantage. One of the things I like about this is that I just made the move, or you just made that move, and it lets me see where you moved from. My memory is not great, and I know that we have this on the side to give it an idea of what happened, but just the visual clues are nice. So that's something I would like us to implement once we get to writing our own chess game. I see that you're threatening my pawn over here, but I feel fine. I have these other pawns in the back to protect it. So what I want to do is just start getting pieces out on the board. I'm a bit afraid that my bishop is all alone over there. So I'm just gonna put that horse to protect it a bit since it creates that L that we were talking about earlier when we talked about the movement of the horse.
I'm just jotting a note down about
Mm,
wanting to keep track of where the pieces move from, so I don't forget that.
thank
Um,
you.
where does it, where does it show us where it came from?
So if you look at your screen, you should see a couple of green tiles, specifically with the horse that's on F6 right now. So my black horse that just moved, it should have a green thingy around it.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the last movement? Okay.
Yes, so there's that one for the last movement, and then if you click on a piece without moving it, but just click on the piece, I think it's going to tell you the possible
Got you.
movements um, for each one of the pieces. I will admit I don't remember when was the last time I played chess against a human being, and this is kind of intimidating. So this is very scary. This is you're kind of starting a
A
cold war over
Cold
here
War.
because you're threat you're threatening my bishop, but if you attack it, I will attack it with the horse. But at the same time, I could attack your bishop, but you have your horse to attack that bishop. So I think I'm gonna remain in the 70s, 80s, and just leave that as a Cold War and
That's fair.
just move another piece somewhere else. I'm afraid to get a carnage started over there. I'm a pacifist.
I'm not going to take that bishop because I don't want to give up my bishop, but at least we have a stalemate going on.
Cold War. That's yeah, that's the deterrent. That's exactly what I did not want you to do because now what you just did was called developing the board, which means taking the pieces of your army and moving them into strategic positions. And now it gets scary. I do not know. Okay, I'm just going to do the same thing as you do. I'm just going to mirror you. In case of doubts, do what the enemy is doing, I guess. Hmm. Remember the part about the deterrent? You just there was a deterrent against me capturing this, which was a horse, and it's not there anymore. And I'm a bit afraid that you're gonna pull a move that I hadn't noticed. So please don't take that too seriously. I was just trying to be friendly.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Because I forgot that pawns can't capture street forward.
Yeah, that pawn that you have next to the rook is now gonna be blocked from moving forward as long as I leave the bishop over there. And that also creates another nice position that I'm not able to exploit right now, but because my bishop on h3, the one I just moved, is on that diagonal, that means that you cannot move your king to f1. So in my screen, it would be to the left. In yours, I think that's to the right because it would be in the check position. So if you click the king, it's not gonna allow you to move. Hmm. You're bringing
The
out the
big
big
gun.
guns. Uh, yeah, yes. Once rooks are moving, oh, and you have a very nice setup with the horses. I cannot attack with my pawns or with my horses because they're just gonna get captured.
I
Mm,
can't really
mm,
capture anything right now
mm.
without also getting captured in return too. So
Yeah, but at the same time, you're preventing me from moving. If I move the pawn that I have on e5, you can capture it. If I move the horse that I have on f6, you can capture it. If I move the horse that I have on c6, you can also capture. This is not a great position for me because now I have to get the horses. Basically, you have control over the middle of the board with those two horses, and that's put me in kind of a rough spot. I guess something that I can do is move this horse over here because even though the horse can do your horse can do the L, it's not going to be able to attack me in this position. So this gives me a bit more safety, I
yeah, and I can't
think.
really capture the horse with my rook unless I want to give up my rook because your bishop is right there. That makes sense.
Exactly, because that's the bishop over there. Keep in mind that because the horse cannot move diagonally, you can threaten my pieces. You don't need to take them. Just create a small threat and instill a bit of fear. But I don't know if I wanna. I'm already afraid enough. I don't know if I need more of that. I'm pretty sure anyone who knows how to play chess is looking at this and say just like, oh, they're so bad.
No, I don't
Oh,
think that is it.
and that is true. But that's why we're building a chess. What's gonna be your next move? And please don't tell me you're using a bot or something
No.
in the back to destroy me absolutely. There's a lot of AI tools for learning chess, by the way. Leeches over here in the learn thingy has a few exercises that people can use to learn the game. Okay, so we have that pawn movement. That pawn I'm not gonna be able to take. And I have a lot of pieces back here. I haven't even moved my pawns. So I think I'm just gonna start opening up the board a bit. Oh Jesus, that was bad. As you can see, you have a very nice horse.
I do.
It's sitting on F3, and I don't know why I did this, but I just lost. This is the point where I would rage quit and just say, "Okay, fuck it. I'm too bad." Um, yeah.
Honestly, most of the time growing up, I used to play just checkers a lot because my family never really had a chessboard. And so my grandfather would always make me play checkers with him. So when I first saw a chessboard, I was just like, what is this? Like, what is this thing?
But it isn't the board. I've never played checkers. Isn't the board similar?
It's the same. It's just that all the pieces
Okay.
um, move the same. And there's the, I think like all the pieces only move one space at a time, either diagonally or just straight forward to back. Um, but similar to like the pawns here, if you can get a checkers piece to the opposite end, you can turn it into a queen, and then that piece can move essentially the same way
Hmm.
that a queen would.
Oh. Oh. Okay,
Or
that
no,
makes sense.
king, because we would always
You
say we
can
get to the
pick.
other end and we would shout queen, like king me, and then all hell would break loose, or all heck would break loose.
Okay, what am I mean, you just capture my queen. I am kind of. I'm gonna. I hope this is not a mistake. I'm gonna take this pawn just because I think it's not protect. I just want to get something in exchange, do some type of ransom situation thingy here. Because yeah, I don't know what to do basically. More threats. I don't like that, Yvette. And the worst part is I don't know if I have a way to protect from this. This is a nice situation because you're threatening my knight. If I move that out of the way, you're gonna take my rook. With this rook, because this is the one moving on the white tiles, I'm not gonna be able to protect the horse on the black tiles. Because I lost my queen, I don't have anything to protect that diagonal, and my other bishop is all the way in the back. There's a pawn in the middle that's not gonna let it move. So I think I'm gonna get used to the idea that I just lost one of those pieces. So I guess it comes to choosing which one do I want to lose. I think that they roughly have the same value in game.
Yeah,
People, depending on what they're playing, will choose one or the other. What am I gonna lose? I'm gonna lose the horse just because I think it's harder to move with the horse. So, yeah, it was. Thank you for serving. I'm not gonna
this
exploit that fella anymore.
this makes me think because I mentioned one of the ideas for adding just like random mechanics is like an explosion mechanic. Um, and maybe it's like, oh, you take out anything that's within the 8 tiles that's around you on certain conditions. And I'm like, imagine if one of the mechanics was if you can get any piece to the back row, it immediately explodes.
So I have good news for you. I We have a colleague called Ben. When we shared the idea about playing chess and doing a chess game, he gave us information on a lot of chess variations, and there's something called Beirut chess that we will talk a bit about that later, but it's basically you're gonna strap a bomb to one of your pieces and you decide. It's actually kind of, let me if I go to Wikipedia, it's, look at this. This is the I, bomb carriers can be thought of as wearing suicide vests. It's It's scary, but we will get to that. Let's try and finish this. I lost my piece here. I do want to put some pressure on you because I'm not moving any of my pieces. So because I think I have not, yes, I have not moved the king. I'm gonna do the whole castling thing just to get the rook outside of that corner. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get my hoodie on because it's getting cold in here.
Okay.
Now the question is, what are you gonna be attacking with now? I'm kind of scared of your next move, to be honest. I feel like I have a lot of pieces on the board, and you know what? It would have been better if you attacked somehow. That move that you just made makes me even more scared because now you have a diagonal of pawns,
I
which
thought
means
about
that if
it,
I
but
try to attack,
yeah, I feel like any attack I make, there's like a way to retaliate, or to get into position to attack right now, I'd have to make myself vulnerable in some way.
I think that I mean people who know chess will tell us afterwards, but I think that was a good move. You create a barrier, the diagonal barrier with the pawns, which makes it very good to protect yourself. And I don't see any possible attacks for me, so I'm just gonna keep going with my plan, which is get the pieces in the back out of the way into the board, and maybe I'll have a bit more to play with. I hope.
I don't know if that was a mistake or not.
Mm, I'm, now you're threatening my horse, and I don't see a way to protect besides moving it. Um, the pawns, even though they only move one position at a time, like I think this is a good place to see how damaging a pawn can be. You're forcing me basically to get that horse out of the way, and that's gonna stop me from doing whatever I wanted to do in the first place. So thank you. I don't know. Okay, so first thing is let's get this fella out of harm's way. Say here. There I can protect it with the other pawn. It's gonna be a bit safer.
Ah, chess is hard. It's really difficult.
Chess is hard. Chess is hard. And yeah, some people become famous because they're very good at solving these hard Yeah, we can see. I hope that at some point we have time to go through some of the Blitz Turbo Chess variations where they play entire games in a minute and a half, 3 minutes, and
Oh, so
I okay.
that's what that is. Because I saw a game
And
being
I
played on the homepage where there was like a counter for
yes,
every move, and I
yeah,
was like,
and
oh my god, just a minute.
I think that if we go over there right now, there's always a game going on like this one. You move the pawn, so now you're threatening my bishop too. You have a diagonal with the other pawn on e2 that's being protected by the king, and you have a queen over there. So I don't need to be staying around there. I think the thing is that if I move that bishop to the left, you have the rook who's also going to be attacking me. So and if I move to f5, you're gonna attack that with your knight. You're gonna, Yvette, you're gonna send this fella back home. Is there anything? Hmm. What I would really like to do in a situation like this is trying to find a play where I can do a check or your king to force you to move something else and save my bishop from having to go all the way to the back. But I don't see how to do that. I'm blocking half of my pieces, so I think this one is gonna live to see another day, at least for the moment, because you're I feel a bit claustrophobic. You have been if you look at my side of the board, everything's just standing there. Your has like a proper army set up.
Proper army setup.
Okay, so there you're threatening my pawn, but I that one's protected. I think I need to open up my board a bit because it's both of my rooks are kind of blocked. My king is not gonna be able to move too much if you somehow get a horse over there. So I'm just gonna get a pawn to be a bully and say like, "Hey, what's up, Mr. Knight?
Oh no.
You don't have to move. I mean, you can leave it over there if you think that the knight should um die with the boots on. But maybe go
It's
leave, see another day.
it's either lose my knight and steal a pawn, or no, I don't think I want to. I'm not going to sacrifice my knight
It's
for a
probably
pawn.
not worth it.
I'll put him back here.
Hmm. I don't know how to attack you. I do know I want to get my again. It feels very claustrophobic here. I have a pawn in d6 that I would want to move out, but as soon as I move that, I open up um, the bishop that you have in b4 to attack me. So I think that was gonna have to stay over there. In the meantime, I think I can just create this diagonal thingy too and put a bit more pressure and hopefully I didn't miss some attack. I don't know. Looking at this from my side is complicated. I'm trying to see where can I move and I'm starting to move out of, run out of places. Oh, and now you want to take my. Why are you so aggressive?
I don't. I'm just moving.
I was happy that I was just able to move that thing out of the way, and now, okay. But the cool thing is, I still have this spawn. I hope this is not a problem, but I can block as we blocked the check earlier. I can do the same thing with this pawn, and I think that's gonna put some pressure on you to move the bishop. Unless I'm missing some, you're probably doing some other
No,
calculated
I am.
move on the other side of the board that's gonna destroy
I
me.
promise I am doing zero calculations here. This game is. This game really is hard.
Especially
Stressful.
because you get a lot of options and you need to start evaluating a lot of the basically all of the positions every time you make a move. People who are really good at this have memorized a lot of possible setups, so they just almost mechanically know how to get out those situations. But for me and maybe for you, there's a lot of thinking involved.
So this is the tricky part. Like I have to just take your rook, or not your rook, your pawn, because even if I move back, you can still take my bishop anyways. So either way, my bishop's going to get taken. So I might as well just take a piece before I get decimated anyways.
I have to avenge my comrade, so
Yeah, that's tricky. Now that's tricky because like even now I have no bishops. So
that is true. It's your movement in the diagonals is now only going to be possible with the queen, but that's still. I mean, you still have a queen. That's a nice advantage to have. Ooh, okay. So, mm, I think that you just gave me a nice opening. N- I thought. Then I realized that if I was gonna use the horse that I have on d4 and take the pawn that you have at f3. But then I realized you have a queen. Probably don't want to be messing with them. But if I don't move that horse, you're gonna take it too. Um, this is hard. How do I protect this fella from? Oh, this is interesting. If you look at the horse that I have on d4, you can take your pawn at f3, but then you're gonna take with your queen. I could take the pawn that you have at b5, and then you can take my horse with your horse. And in the meantime, I have the two bishops, and they're not doing anything at all. They're just like chilling as bishops. So I
I
guess
mean,
do when you have knights. What can I? Okay, that was. I like how the last soldier was willing to fight it all the way.
exactly.
My proposal is gonna be we do a truce over here. I'm gonna click the truce button. Did it send the draw offer sent? Because I think at this point it would just be like moving a lot of pieces one piece at a time,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be so fun.
But that was that was really
Um,
interesting.
okay,